Hi, this is Chai from Offis. This is our part 2 of our presentation on AWS versus Azure, which we did at eClub in 2015. This one is on database, data warehousing, and some key concepts like security and identity, which is clearly important, a big discussion about the cloud. We provide these comparisons because we're a multi-cloud provider, and we will help you orchestrate, automate, and provide self-service in terms of accessing multiple clouds in a flexible way, but we will also help you do all the governance and compliance and security components of all of those. So we hope you enjoy the presentation. The full one is available on their website as well. Have a look at that if you want all the components in between.
We're now moving on to the section that's called databases.
So we're talking about, Chai.
Oh, sorry, wait, talking to me?
We're talking about RDS.
Yes, we are.
Microsoft RDS.
Yes, we are.
And the reason why there's a bit of limitation is there's 2 availability zones. By Microsoft's definition of high availability for SQL to do the replication, you need 3 data centers.
Mirroring.
So it does the mirroring. One is the witness, which sits in another data center, and it looks between availability zone 1, availability zone 2. This guy fails, switch your database over here. And as you know, active SQL is an active passive database, so it needs something that's to be able to communicate between them. And that's the limitation. But to get around that, you use Virtual Office as your 3rd data center, and we'll be able to more than do this because we're doing this right now.
Yeah, exactly. The same problem exists in both sites because in the US they have 3 sites to make up their regions or their zones, depending on how you want to term it. Therefore, you can have the primary and then the shadow and then the witness to make sure all the transactions are available. None of them have 3 in Australia. They've only got 2 legs. So their RDS, if you look at all the writings in the US, is RDS is great, it does this and this, and we look after everything for you, except in Australia. It actually, you go there and it says, except Australia. It doesn't say except Asia. They have 3 in Singapore. Not that big. You do in Tasmania, 3 there. But it's not available. So you have to, if you use their RDS, you can't do the mirroring in either of these 2. It's just not going to be there. So you have to create another witness. Now, they will both allow you to create your own images or your own virtual machines with SQL installed and create a witness and do it yourself. If you don't want to do it yourself, we'll do it for you. Okay, so we have tables, which is very similar. It's fast access. We got cache, which says what it does. It's all in memory. It's all very fast, very lightweight.
So how that works is, just to interrupt, Chai, is basically your applications. Rather than serving it from the web server, you get more process power by offloading that to somewhere else.
Also, we have data warehousing. So basically what these are just pre-built templates with everything already there. You hit the button and it runs it. It loads the database, everything ready to go. The applications are there. Upload your data and you can start doing data warehousing. They're just trying to make it quicker and easier, basically, is what it is. However, all of these are designed to lock you in. So the big warning is, this is all great. Come and use my stuff. It's easy. It's great. And then you can't get out easily. Yep. If you really fight for it, you can. So you have to be very careful. We're working with customers right now who want to deliberately be in 2 separate clouds, and we're designing in such a way that you can take the maximum advantage of one cloud but still be transportable. So there's some secret sauce there. With the right amount of money, we can reveal to you there's some secret sauce.
I'll just talk about Aurora. Aurora is Microsoft's version of MySQL, their claim to fame is it's better, it's faster, it makes bread, better than MySQL. And they provide that as a service. You can purchase it from them. And it's a highly relational database for enterprise environments. It's a fairly new service that we're offering and within AWS. It's meant to be, bigger IOPS, more data analysis, and so if you think MySQL is too slow, have a look at Aurora. But it is designed to lock you in because it is an Amazon feature. So when you set up an Amazon environment, you can't get away from identity access management, IAM. And the reason why it basically creates your user profile, it creates your group, it creates your policy, it creates your security. So when you're setting up an environment, you don't want to give them full access or a user full access straight away. You want to say, you know what, I want to give this application, and it does APIs, access only to S3. I want them to access only, read only into EC2 for whatever reason you want. And you do that through IAM. It also does multi-factor authentication. It also does the federation accounts. And what that means is if you've got multiple AWS accounts, I want to have a single sign-on. I don't want to have multiple accounts that I need to create. So I'm going to link these accounts, and I've got this profile that I can go into it, and one username, one password to get into it with your multi-factor authentication. So you've got this application on your device. You put your username, you put your password in, and then from there you have to put in. It's like a token ID, random numbers. It gets generated every 30 seconds, and that gets churned around. So even if you get someone's password, username, you won't be able to access it because you need this token as an additional service. And yes, you need to enable that. I don't know why they don't enable it by default. Best practice. CloudWatch is pretty much the alerting, monitoring and alerting services. You can actually monitor from memory, disk space. But not only does that, it also monitors the services. And you can actually integrate that to your order scaling. So by way of example is you've got an EC2, it generates X amount of workload, it's consuming 50 megabits, 50% of CPU, and if it falls below, if it goes higher than that, I need CloudWatch to notify me that something's happened, and if it does go over that, I want to be able to spin up another server. I want to be able to take that load off and spin up another server to be able to do the faster processing. So it allows you to do that, and it taps into a whole bunch of other services within Amazon's environment. Chai?
Hang on a sec, Chai, are you also offering, or is Azure also offering a watch to clients?
We're offering world domination. You have missed
Far
it
better,
altogether.
far better.
Far better thing. So this is where everyone's familiar with Active Directory, right? They've all got ADs, okay? I try not to use all their acronyms because I want to explain it a little bit. So EC2s and EBLs and whatever it is. So the biggest change they're going to make to dominate the world here is going to be Azure Active Directory. And it has Azure embedded in the name. That's where they want you to go. That's where Microsoft wants you to be. It's a better, more powerful AD is what they're claiming. It definitely is more powerful. It has a far, 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 far better reach than the AD currently ever has. So if you go with this Azure Active Directory, not only will you control all the users in your group, in your user accounts, on your network, on your devices, you'll be able to control their access to Salesforce, to Xero, to EC2 instances, elastic compute instances. You can control access to almost anything using Azure Active Directory, AADs. That's the world domination plan. You get on there, it's going to control your security, it'll make it so much easier for you. You can do phone level authentication within seconds. I get a PIN, I log in, and I'm in. It knows who I am. I can do some automated stuff. If it's this computer, I can use it. If it's another computer, I need another different level of authentication. All that is all in there. It is extremely detailed, massive topic. Lots of discussion about world domination on that front. And they want to make that the kind of default. I know there's, you can run Active Directory in AWS, but in this environment, you are going to get it with it, whether you like it or not. We will all have an Azure Active Directory account sooner or later. That is a big silver bullet, and it could shoot you, or it could give you a big hole, because it's a single sign-on capability as well, if you want. So it is a single point of control, and with all of the simplicity and complexity and fault that implies. So all the security guys are going to have lots of fun looking at that. For a long time, they've had monitoring, and it's very similar to the AWS monitoring. It's up, down, it's CPU, RAM, storage, and some services. 2 months ago, they've now changed that to, I want to get the wording exactly right here, Operations Management Suite, which is a new bundle. It's a new portal you can go to, and not only are you going to see servers, you will see all the ADs, all the logons, all the users, all the devices. You can customize your login so that I'm in charge of my division. I only see my division, and I don't care about servers. I only want to see access. You can customize all those portals. Because it is so complicated and pervasive, you have to have that level of customization. It is very extensive and very tied together. The other one, which is only very recently announced, like I added it to the slide today, is remote apps. Honestly, we started these slides a couple of 3 or 4 months ago, based on our partners with RightScale in the US, and so much has changed. It's only probably 20% the same. Remote apps is their version of allowing you to put an application on a virtual machine, and then someone can log in and look at that app, just like a Citrix app server. And if you want to have 3 more, 4 more, 5 more, suddenly everyone logs in, it'll automatically scale and give you more users. So it's really targeted towards a Citrix kind of user. And it already has inbuilt the auto-scaling components in there.